hologram could help. Let me take a look. Okay, the shield generator should be at the bottom of the ship.
What's your status?
Little low on ammo. All flaming pits. Kept burning out. Anyone heard from Akora?
Not since you went for the speaker. Form up! For me!
shield generator should be straight ahead. All right, destroy the turbines. The shields should fizzle. Yes, just like that. Heat levels rising. It's working. Zavala, we did it. The shields are down. Zavala? Amanda, we're headed topside. Amanda! How do we come back from this?
You don't. Welcome to a world without light.
Guardian, something's wrong.
Do not look at me, creature. You are weak, undisciplined, cowering behind walls. You're not brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. Allow me to reacquaint you. Your kind never deserved the power you were given. I am Gaul, and your light is mine.
Guardian. You're alive. I thought I lost you. I can heal you, but I can't resurrect you. Not since. Guardian, the light is gone. They've taken the city, the Traveler, everything. The Red Legion is killing powerless Guardians. We have to get out of here. I'm picking up an emergency broadcast. Rendezvous coordinates. They're evacuating the planet. We're on our own. These Guardians, they had no chance without their powers. That could be us. Guardian, if you die, I can't resurrect you. We need to be very careful. It's that Falcon again. Is it following us? Or are we following it?
Oh, look. Somebody left a perfectly good Guardian lying around. Things must be worse than I thought. And that's our cue. Time to go, people!
But wait. Where are you all going?
As far away from here as possible.
That Falcon, it belongs to you?
The name's Hawthorne, and this is Lewis. Best pilot we got. What about you? Fit to fly? Probably gonna need one of these, too. Time to make yourself useful, Guardian. All right, people, spin 'em up! Got a long flight ahead of us!
Do you see, traveler, all that I have done? Grace me with your light. Take your place at the center of my empire. See me, and the Red Legion will be your true guardians.
Dominus, the city is secure. Those who fled are being hunted, and those foolish enough to remain have been executed. Victory, as with all things, is yours to claim.
This victory is as much yours as mine, old friend.
All that remains is the completion of the cage around this great machine. Then we may begin the extraction of its power and put it to its rightful use.
They call it the Traveler.
I would contend that other civilizations may be more precise in their naming. Its functions can be controlled and exploited, as we have so clearly proven.
Yet they believe it to be a god.
Dominus. Gaul. We have spent our lives, you and I, working to reshape our society, reforge our people, rebuild an empire nearly destroyed by Callus's greed and corruption. There is nothing in this universe greater than you. The Red Legion will have that machine's power. You will be called Emperor. What more would the Dominus have?
I would have words with my guest. So, you're the one who speaks for the Traveler.
Coming up on the European Dead Zone. Gonna be our new home for a while.
Look, do you recognize it? That's where we're supposed to go.
That thing? They call it the Shard of the Traveler. I call it not a place you want to go poking around.
Do you wish me to decrypt something? Oh. I'm glad to see you safe. I am Tyra. Tyra Karn. I'm sorry. Have we met before? Losing my connection to the light has been disorienting. Now, I understand you seek the shard of the Traveler. I too have dreamt of it. Its jagged, broken edge. A wound that never heals. But I do not trust its pull. Like us, the shard no longer knows the light. Not since the Traveler cast it off during the collapse. For centuries it has twisted and corrupted everything around it. Where it lies is now a place of death. If you are determined to go, remember, we Guardians are no longer immortal.
What would you like to say? This is... whew, lot of civilization. For me, at least. Of course, I've been living outside the city half my life. So... anyway, heard you want to go poke around that busted-up hunk of Traveler. You Guardians have a weird idea of a good time. Oh well. Lewis and I know plenty about trusting your gut. So I'm not about to stop you. I got enough to deal with here. Take that ship you flew here. At least it'll get you back faster. See all these refugees? I haven't lost one yet. Don't you be my first. Catch you later. Talk to me.
You should have some kind of clan dinner. With cookies and... No. There's a war on. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Sure you want to do this? That shard is the reason this place is called a dead zone.
We have to, Hawthorne. It's a sign.
Yeah, a sign that says dead zone.
You know, I've been all over the EDZ. Charming enough. I mean, nothing says come visit, like a dark haunted forest.
But non-Guardians aren't supposed to leave the city.
Here's the thing about city rules. They stop applying once you leave the city. There's a small gap in the wall. Hard to see, but it's there. Nobody goes farther than that. At least nobody who wants to come back.
Let me know when you reach the...
Hawthorne? Hawthorne, can you hear us? Signal's dead. Did you hear something? The fallen. Those fallen weren't wearing any house colors we've seen before. The shard of the Traveler. This is it. Right out of our vision. think we scared them away. Take me to the shard. This is why we were led here. I haven't been as close to the Traveler's Light since... Do you feel it? Hold on to your helmet. Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes up, Guardian. Hold on to your helmet.
It's you. You and I walked together as the tower burned. And now, here you stand. Your light burns a path before us. And on that path, I see many battles ahead of you. Battles only you can win. The crucible of Lord Shaxx will prepare you. In my arena, should a Titan stand in your way, crush him. If a hunter confronts you, break her blade. If a warlock speaks, feed him his words. There is only one path to victory, Guardian. See you on the battlefield. What's going on out there? Talk to me, Guardian.
Well, look at you. You got your light back. I don't know how you did it, but I'm glad. Because we're gonna need it. There are a lot more survivors out there, and they need our help. We gotta get the word out that the farm is a safe haven. I sent a friend into the EDZ a few hours ago to set up a comm network. His name's Devram K. Good guy. Great shot. Don't tell him I said that. If you give him a hand, I'd take it as a personal favor. Talk me into this.
I'm here. Is he looking at you from his book? I think he was looking at you from his book.
You think the Red Legion will stop there? You must be Hunter, these new recruits remind me of you. Swift, full of raw potentials. Red Legion
Should have some kind of clan cookies and no. There's a war. Don't get cocky now that you've got your powers back. The EDZ is rough, especially around the Old Town. Just remember, refugees from the city have it a lot rougher. You want to help them? Find Devram K.
A guest, and here I have no tea to serve. These are dire times indeed. Devram K, the 8th, at your service. City militia, back when there was a city. Now I serve at the pleasure of my dear friend Soraya Hawthorne. First on the docket, contact other refugees and tell them of the farm. That means building a comm network from the ground up. And even though I happen to be a damn good shot, the Fallen are giving me a devil of a time. I dare say you can handle a few rounds with the enemy. I've seen what Guardians can do. Right. I think it's time to let the guns do the talking now. Don't you? See you soon. Ready if you are. Let's get started. There's a banner on the main floor. Give it a look, will you?
This is a House of Judgment sigil. We used to work with a Fallen who flew this banner.
Curious. Well, the Fallen seem to have put this up as a bit of a threat. I imagine you'll find lots of objects like this out there. Bit of a story to them. We both need some supplies to get going out here. See if you find a cache in one of the buildings nearby. Very well done. To survive, we'll have to look for every opportunity. Keep your eyes peeled for more supplies in the wilds. Speaking of the wilds, there's a symbol on the wall of the church. Take a look.
Devrim, where did this symbol come from?
I believe your city hunters must have put them here and there about the region as they scouted around. I think they meant it to mark something special. Or dangerous.
Or both. Let's go check it out.
The history of this region is fascinating. I believe tunnels and caves like the one you're in now stretch all across the EDZ. Who knows what's lurking down there? Be careful.
I just snagged a key code from that captain. I think I can open his supply cache.
Work down there, you two. Keep an eye out for other hidey holes and treasures like this one. But that's for another day. In the meantime, what say we get down to business? Come on back up to the church tower. I'm putting a kettle on now. Welcome back. This time I did make tea for you, but I seem to have drunk it all. Perhaps if you were a mite quicker. Right, the beacon. While you were tussling with the Fallen, we've encountered a bit of a setback. Hawthorne has placed the last relay on the mountain above the salt mines, but even from that height, the signal still doesn't have the range we expected. It's a bit curious. Regardless, this signal booster should solve our problem if we can get it to her. Dead zone indeed. Goodbye, Guardian. Let's bring them home, you and I, huh? Eyes open.
All right, Devrim. What's next?
Helping me spread the word. We're broadcasting a signal from the farm to people who fled the city saying, you'll be safe here.
And we need to make sure everyone, everywhere, can hear it.
Place a few signal amplifiers around the area to boost the signal. That should do the trick.
That's one node online.
Looks like the signal's already amped. That was fast.
Hang on a minute. I just spotted quite a few Fallen headed your way. Keep your guard up. Eliminating that captain under the church must have drawn the rest of the Fallen out.
They won't stop coming. We need to make sure that signal is strong. You better hurry up and place that second node. This place used to be so peaceful. This is the first time I've even seen any Fallen since the Cabal hit us. Reminds me of the city. You all tried to make it so we never even laid eyes on a Dreg.
To keep us safe, right? There's another word for a place you're not allowed to leave. You know, with walls you can't see over, and guards everywhere.
Soraya, despite your exploits there, I hardly think the city was a prison.
I'm just saying, no walls at the farm. Come and go whenever you want. So let's make sure everyone can get there, eh, Guardian? I read the boosted signal, and some kind of strange feedback.
The Fallen are nothing if not persistent. I'd wager they have some kind of jamming devices nearby. All forces in the field. A catch has been reported en route to an ether drop.
There. I've got a clear signal. No more feedback.
Look at those folk, acting like they own this place.
5x5 here as well. Excellent work. Take down that servitor, and they starve.
It's nice to have a Guardian helping us normals for a change. But there's one more thing. Did I send those coordinates correctly?
I've got them. Through the tunnel, across the river.
That's the place. I left something behind there.
We're almost to your coordinates, Hawthorne.
Good. I left supplies there that I had to abandon in a hurry a while back.
Supplies for the farm?
For the city. When you all got attacked, I dropped everything and flew across the ocean to try and help. The city sure doesn't need it anymore. We could use that stuff at the farm.
Bad news, Hawthorne. The Fallen beat us here.
All right, forget the supplies. Clear out those Fallen, and we'll figure out our next move.
The area's clear.
Not for long. The Fallen don't like it when they're denied a good scavenge. They're bound to come at you in force.
Then do me another favor, you two. Drop another one of those node things to boost my signal, then get out of there. You made them mad. You're doing something right. Don't let up.
We did it. They're gone.
You Guardians really are something else. I guess I kind of forgot that.
And now we know that there are resources to be found in the EDZ. Once we retake the city, that'll be a big help.
Sure.
What Soraya means to say is, thank you. Head back here when you can, you two. There's still quite a bit to do.
Getting some weird feedback on the comms. Dev, did you put your teacup on the broadcast switch again?
Looks like these fallen shanks are rerouting the signal.
Try dismantling one and taking a close look at the insides.
This core, it's acting as a kind of broadband amplifier. Their signal is blocking transmissions all across the dial.
After all the work you did setting up Soraya's broadcast, that just won't do.
There's a signal antenna nearby. I can use the core to try to find the source of whatever the Fallen are doing.
Why do you think they're trying to jam us, Dev?
They missed their opportunity to take over this area after our friend touched the shard.
And now they're too scared to fight us head-on. Typical Fallen.
lost the connect. The Fallen are jamming us.
Forces in the field. A catch has been reported en route to an ether drop.
I found the source. It's underground. Deep underground.
That figures. Fallen love dark places.
Especially with the Red Legion all over the dead zone.
Look at those Fallen, acting like they own this place.
Take down that servitor, and they starve.
That's a lot of Fallen gone. Their servitors sacrificed them.
That news will spread far and fast. My congratulations.
This tunnel looks promising. Fallen banners. We're definitely on the right track. They're really built up down here. We need to remember this place after we retake the city, so we can clear it out for good.
Or we could let the Fallen have their creepy caves, and not sacrifice more people.
With that shield down, I can finally get a read on the source. It's close. This is it. Hold them off, and I'll use that shank core to shut down the signal remotely. Just a little longer. Just before you took out that captain, I fried all their broadcast capabilities. No more jamming.
That means people will be coming to the farm from all over the planet. Once we get that last relay set up, we can reach out to the rest of the system.
Then we can start rallying Guardians to strike back against the Red Legion.
There will be plenty of time for both. For now, head back here when you can, you two.
What up, player? What's going on, man? Good, good. Nice. It's good. I'm gonna tell you the thing that's tricky. You know, world events. I tried to jump. Now, granted, I am only like level 4 or 3 or 4 at the time I tried one, and I tried to solo it, and that went just as well as you expect. I got my face planted in the ground. Although I stood up for a while, I just couldn't do anywhere near enough DPS. It was on a servitor. So it was like the servitor was taking literally no damage, and I was just on fucking mob cleanup. I actually ended up taking it on a second time with one other player that was level 10, and at that time I was level 4, and we did a much better job. We still didn't finish it, but we got some gear for just making the attempt. What's nice is world events now show up on the map, which is fucking fantastic, because you now see them, see exactly where they are, how much time they have left, how much damage has been done, so you can know right away whether it's worth even going. It's also entirely possible for you to trigger them. I haven't figured out how to... I think you do that with the coins. I haven't actually done that. As is always, the early stages of Destiny, like, it gives you, like, a whole bunch of, like, weapons, and because you're low level, you have to kind of swap out all the time. So, like, I had a scout rifle for a little bit before I could even get used to it again. I had a pulse rifle, and then I ended up with, like, right now, I think I have a hand cannon, and I'm pretty sure I got another weapon that's better than the hand cannon. So it's that, like, you know, early level, constant swap out stuff. Yeah, it makes it kind of hard to, like, I'm streaming at the moment, and I'm like, I probably look like I suck at this game. I do not suck at this game. It's literally just, I keep having to change weapons, so I get used to a weapon, and I've got to use a new one, right? Like, you know, it's just getting used to that. So, like, the first few mobs I shoot at with any new weapon, I kind of can't hit anything, and then all of a sudden I get the hang of it, then I got a new weapon. So it's like, rinse, repeat. Yep. 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 Agreed. Another thing that's nice is the game. So when you used to finish a mission, you know how it would automatically kick you to orbit? It doesn't do that. And you would say that that's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because the way the director works now, or director is what they call it, it pulls up the interface so you can go to orbit if you want. But say, you know, you just wanted to get back to, like, there was another mission objective not that far away, or another mission you could do. You could literally just say, track the next mission, right? And then it will just give you a cursor marker to go to where the next mission is, rather than making you go all the way to orbit and start over again, yeah. Oh, and some other cats are taking on this servitor thing. I'm gonna try again. I'll probably die.
Look at those folk, acting like they own this place.
Take down that servitor, and they starve.
Oh yeah, it's like a good 20-minute update. Fucking day one updates are like bullshit. I swear to God, every game. Day one update. Yeah, oh no. So one thing to completely understand. They had given, so when it comes to day one updates, there are two reasons for that. One, you can blame Sony and Microsoft, because they, before you patch a game, before you release a game, you have to, it has to meet validation. And in order to meet validation, the game has to be ready, like something like months before it's actually going to be published. So it creates this like totally ludicrous like rule standard. Doesn't make any sense, right? Oh, we're gonna beat it this time. Awesome. Yeah, it creates this totally like ludicrous. Yes! And I think I got the finishing blow on him. Word! There's a chest.
Finished off that servitor.
They were counting on those supplies.
Nah, not this time.
Well
not
done.
this time. They just give you a chest and everybody gets to go to the chest and get their items. And at this point, it's only giving me green gear because, like, everything scales to your level. Right. Totally agree. But yeah, so far I'm digging it, because it is more, I would say, too, when they said the zones were larger, they're not shitting you, they're quite a bit larger. and they have like nooks and crannies and some buildings that like look like you can't get into that you can actually get into. Like it's definitely, yep. So there's an exploration element this time. Oh yeah, because you guys can move through stuff a lot more easier than I can. Yep. For example, on the hunters, I'm pretty sure we don't have cloak anymore. But the cloak was always bullshit, so I'm not even gonna like call craziness on that. Like there were, as you remember with the Crota raid, there were whole sections of the raid that I could do solo, like because I had the ability to cloak. Like that's just that was gonna get removed, regardless. At times, OP and preferred, yes. That and the fact that Blade Dancer, and everybody kind of has like a Blade Dancer-like ability now. Blade Dancer was crazy in PvP. Because once it got triggered, like you basically had, I mean they had to nerf that, what, 3 times? And even then, it still was ridiculous. Right. Right. Yeah, so this should balance it out. You should see more, you know, I guess Titans were the ones that didn't really have a lot of ton of abilities last time. Should see some more Titans this time, so it should be balanced out a little bit. Why did it teleport me? Yep. Oh, and go ahead, you can ask something. Yes. Oh yeah. So it's you're the first enemies that, and actually it's very much similar, and I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. It's very similar to the first game in this respect, because once you get kicked out of the city, which obviously you know happens pretty much immediately. I'm not spoiling anything for you there. The first enemies that you have to fight are Fallen. But they're a slightly different House of Fallen, and I would say that the character, oh my god, the character model on the captain is just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Like he's got like a fur thing. No, like good. He's got like a fur thing on now. Like they pimped him out, man. Yeah. Right.
Hey, Dev.
I can't say that the Vandals or the other ones, they kind of look the same to me, but the captain looks better.
Our new Guardian friend is en route. I'm getting too old to clean up after you, Soraya.
Yep. The other thing is the areas that you're in, with the exception of the new town, which is called the farm, which, so it isn't really a town, is the main, so the European Dead Zone. The guy you get your quest from is in the, like literally inside a church, and everything like the church is constantly under attack. So that takes a minute to get used to. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes enemies come in. I haven't had a mission where I explicitly had to do it, but like he's like, go do these things for me, and go check this building for me, and like all this other stuff, while you're getting constantly shot at. Like, I don't think there's, like, while being in the town, I don't think there was a single time where I was not getting shot at. Yep. Every now and then so the Red Legion do come in every now and then to this area. So I saw them come in. I saw like a little bit of an event where like a bunch of them spawned. I caused an event where a bunch of them spawned. So yeah. Okay, that I have not encountered yet. I assume very much that you will encounter them, but the moon isn't in this one, I don't think. So I don't know if that's true. Yeah. It very well could be that they're not. They may very well not be present. Like, I haven't seen anything that would tell me that they, and I've looked at a lot of reviews of people like, oh, I played 20 hours of this game, and nobody's mentioned the Hive. That very well could mean that they're just part of the first expansion, though. Yeah, I mean, if you were going to take out one of the enemies, I don't mind taking them out if they're replaced with something. Later.
That elevator should take us to the top of the mines.
The Cabal.
We'll have to find another way up to Hawthorne.
Yep.
Careful. The Fallen are scavengers of the highest order.
Actually,
put up a fight for whatever they can
I would
get their
disagree with
grubby
that.
claws on.
Taking the expansions out, I'd say the Vex are the primary enemy, because of the way that the last mission ended up being in the Black Garden, and the first raid was actually Vault of Glass. I'd say that Vanilla Destiny, they're the enemy, but then I would say when you put in the Taken King expansion and Dark Below, then it became the Hive were at least equal. But I would say just vanilla straight up, no expansions. It's probably the best. And granted, Destiny 1 vanilla is so like vague anyway. That's kind of hard to say, right? Right. And any enemy that you kill is automatically going to come back. Like it's like it made them like probably the most troubling. Although a lot of folks when they were talking about the expansion, they were like the Vex might end up being, although obviously this game isn't entirely based on them yet. The Vex are the most intriguing because of their ability to manipulate time. If they decided to write the story better, they could do some. Now that they are writing the story better, I should say, they can do some incredible things with the Vex if they so choose. Oh yes, it did, and I remember the time travel level. Yes, that is an example of how the Vex could be done right. Like you give me that. Yep. Oh, that's just disgusting. Well, I gotta do deadlifts in the morning, so that means I will probably be in bed at 9, so that I don't get up in the morning and feel like absolute shit and then try to do deadlifts. I did that last week. Didn't work out so well. That sucks, man. No, I've actually had the same problem. I've at least been in the bed for approximately 7.5 to 8 hours, but I haven't actually been sleeping. At least not very well. And I don't know what the hell it is. Like, I'm like, is my mattress not soft enough all of a sudden? Is it, like, last night it wasn't even that, it was just the temperature wasn't quite right. And like by 2 degrees. Like it was 71 degrees. I lowered the temperature to 71. And that was enough for me to feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, I'm like, something's up. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if I have a fever or like I have some kind of cold or some virus or something, but... Yep. Yeah. Oh, I just got disoriented. So the very next thing I'm doing is probably going to, depending on how well I sleep tonight, probably gonna cut off caffeine completely. Because, if only because I'm like, I don't think it's having an impact, but I don't know that it's not. So like, if I'm gonna start searching for stuff to stop doing, yeah, search for stuff to stop doing. That's on the top of the list. Get rid of that first, see what happens. Like, you know, cycle some other stuff.
You'll be pleased to know that I can see the Fallen fleeing the mine.
Yep.
Seems you've really kicked the hornet's nest, haven't you?
Well, that's just it. I don't have caffeine past 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Anyway, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, basically, it's the having it in the morning, and then having it at around 2. I'd have to stop those 2 times, but who knows? Like I said, it could simply be temperature related. I could have a cold or something, and it's just bothering me some other weird kind of way. So I don't know. Hold on 1 second. Let me stop streaming.